Welcome to Unfold Data Science friends, my name is Aman and I am a data scientist. This video is the continuation of my Big Data and Hadoop playlist where I am going to discuss on Hadoop components and architecture. So this video is starting from very basic of what is the architecture of Hadoop and what is the use of different components of Hadoop that you keep hearing about. Okay, let us start the video. Very first thing you need to understand guys, whenever you talk of any data, right, here we are talking of big data. Whenever you talk of any data, let's say big data, you need to do four things basically. One is you need to store the data. Second is you must process the data, because if you store, you will use the data for some purpose. So you need to process. Third is once you process and store the data, you also need to be able to fetch the data. That is the fetching part. And next is you need to manage the data. Manage means tomorrow some new data comes, you want to add, there is some old data you want to delete, many modifications you want to do, all these things you want to do, that is called managing the data. Now when we talk of Hadoop and big data, from my last video you must remember that Hadoop is an open source framework which supports storage, processing, maintenance for big data. Okay. Now what are the different components of Hadoop used in all these four parts of it? Okay. For storage part, there is something known as HDFS. Okay. I am sure some of you would have heard about this. I also pasted a question today about what is HDFS. HDFS is nothing but Hadoop distributed file system. Okay. So Hadoop distributed file system is the storage part of Hadoop framework, which means how the file system of Hadoop works. We will talk in more detail. For now I am writing just the components. Okay. HDFS means the component which talks about how file is stored in Hadoop. Okay. Next is processing. When you come to processing guys, you need to remember a couple of things. One is called yarn. Next thing you want to know is map reduce. Okay. Map reduce. So these are the two components of the Hadoop that is used for data processing. How it is used for data processing, we will go in more detail, but for now you need to understand these two components manage the data processing part. HDFS manage the data storage part. Okay. Now come to fetch. How do you fetch the stored data? So I am sure you must have heard of something known as Hive, something known as Apache Pig. So these are some of the components of Hadoop which will help you to fetch the stored data. Okay. This also we will discuss in detail. And last component is how do you manage the data. If you want to do some modification, if you want to schedule a job, if you want to manage the data integrity, how do you do that? So the components are Oozie. Oozie is used for managing the workflow, these kind of things, and Zookeeper. Zookeeper is to manage the cluster. What is cluster? I will discuss in some time. Okay. Now there are many components which I can add here. For example, here I can add HBase. HBase is another different way of storing data in Hadoop. Let's not go into much detail or more complex stuff. First, let us get the good understanding of the basic Hadoop components. Okay. Here I can write Spark, here I can write other tools, here also many things can come. But let us understand the must to know things one by one. Okay. So first we will discuss about HDFS. Now HDFS stands for Hadoop Distributed File System. One thing you need to understand guys, this is a distributed file system. Now you must know what is distributed file system before discussing HDFS. Okay. So first thing to understand here is what is DFS or distributed file system. Now let me ask you a question. If I give you an Excel sheet of 1000 records, okay, and you store this Excel sheet in your local computer, then how many computers you are using for storing that Excel sheet? Only one, right? What if I give you my own computer as well and tell you, hey, I am not using this computer, can you use this computer as well to store your data so that you can use the power of both the computer. for storage and processing both. If we can achieve that by doing something that is called a distributed file system. Let us understand with this example only. Let us say this is machine 1. Machine 1 means computer 1. This is machine 2. Machine 2 means node 2 or computer 2. In the world of distributed file system, we call nodes. Different machines means different nodes. Okay. So how distributed file system typically works is the file will be converted into data blocks. So this 1000 records will be converted into 500 and 500 two blocks of data. Okay. One block gets stored here and one block gets stored here. So what is happening here is we are using the storage power of both the machines, and tomorrow if we want to do some processing, we will use the processing power also for both the machines. Now you will ask how it is different from me keeping 10 computers and storing my file on all those computers. How it is different is it will work in parallel. Okay. For example, here if I want to do some operation on this 1000 records, then I can parallelly operate on this 500 records and this 500 records, which means the latency or the time taken for my processing to run will be less, will be half of the actual time, because I am using the processing power of two machines here. This is in short what is called distributed file system. HDFS works exactly on the same concept. The name stands for Hadoop Distributed File System. In Hadoop Distributed File System, files are stored in multiple nodes. Okay, nodes means multiple physical computers. So let us try understanding how the HDFS architecture looks like. Okay, so in HDFS architecture, this is your node 1, this is your node 2, and this is your node 3, means individual machines. Okay, so let us call it node 1, node 2 and node 3, and there will be a master node, so I am calling it master node. This kind of architecture is known as master slave architecture, and that is what works with HDFS system. Your data will be stored in all these nodes. Okay, but there has to be a central repository which knows what data is stored in which node. Here I am talking about just 3 nodes. Imagine there is 500 nodes. So there has to be a central address book, central repository which knows what is stored where, and that is what this node, master node, does. In the world of Hadoop, this is known as name node, and these nodes are known as data node. Okay, all these nodes are data node and this is known as name node. Name node stores the metadata information and data node stores the data, actual data. This is how HDFS system works. Now there are few more things about HDFS. HDFS maintains replication of data, which means if there is a data, it will be replicated 3 times across multiple nodes. Why? What happens if data is stored at only one node and this node goes down or the server goes down? Then data will not be available, right? That is the reason HDFS replicates the data 3 times. So one data by default, you can make it 5 also, by default 3 times. One data will be replicated at this node and 2 more nodes. Let us say there are 100 nodes, so every data block will be at 3 nodes by default. Why that is so? Because to manage for the failure kind of scenario. Okay, that is about HDFS advantages. So replication, then latency will be low. If you want to process something, you can use the power of all these 3 machines in parallel, and hence the latency will be low. That is at high level what is HDFS and how it works. Okay, now come to data processing. What is data processing and how it works? What is yarn? Now I told you guys, data is stored here and this is the name node. So when a user comes and says give me this file, so the file, let us say file 1.txt, this file is splitted in many blocks and is stored in many nodes, right? So this yarn will manage the resources. Managing resources means out of all the nodes, which node this yarn want to use for the data processing. As I told you, it is replicated at 3 places. It depends on which nodes are busy and which nodes are available, and based on that this yarn will allocate the nodes and get the job done. This is an example of resource allocation. You can roughly understand it as a resource allocator of the entire cluster. This thing is called a cluster. Okay, name node, data node, entire combination is called a cluster. So the job of yarn is to allocate resources or manage resources for data processing. Very simple. What is MapReduce? MapReduce is the crux of entire Hadoop framework, guys. Okay, MapReduce is nothing but internally a Java program that enables parallel computing in HDFS system. Okay, so how the parallel computing will work internally, which makes Hadoop framework very special, that is what MapReduce takes care of. It is an Java framework, it is a Java code. Every time we no need to write Java code, don't worry for that, but internally Java code works, and this MapReduce is the thing that enables parallelism in this cluster. Okay, now MapReduce is typically driven from two components, map and reduce. I'll give you a small example of how MapReduce works. Okay, let's say you go to the HDFS and write a query, select count star from employee where employee ID greater than 45, let's say for example. So count star from employee where EMP ID greater than 45. Okay, now this is a query, this is a job that needs to be run on this cluster. So employee data will be sitting on many of these nodes, right? So how map will work is, MapReduce has two parts. The job of the map is to apply the filters, apply the aggregation on the data. So what is the filter here? Employee ID greater than 45. Now imagine from this node 10 employees are greater than 45. From this node 8 employees are greater than 45. From this 2 are greater than 45. So the map job will apply filter and aggregation on each node and get the result. Okay, and the reduce part will combine all those results. So 10 plus 2 plus 8, whatever that number is, that should be the output of your query. So that output is processed or that output is prepared by the reduce job. That is how MapReduce works. When you launch any Hadoop job, when you write a query in Hive or somewhere, you will see map running, reduce running, 0%, 30%, like that you will see. The meaning of that is MapReduce is executing in background, and that is the job of map and reduce at high level. Okay. So about the Hive, Pig, Oozie and Zookeeper, or these two parts, I will cover in my next video. In this video I will just reiterate one more time. HDFS for storing the data distributed way, yarn for allocation of resources in a clustered environment, MapReduce for applying the parallel processing in the entire clustering framework. Let me know what questions you have, guys, because in my part 2 I will cover these two and then we will go on to the installation of Hadoop. Okay, so these things, understanding these are very important, then we will go on to the practicals. So let me know how are you liking this series, guys. I request you to press the subscribe button if you have not done yet. Also share my video in some of the data science groups you are part of. I'll see you all in the next video, guys. Till then, wherever you are, stay safe and take care.